Good evening. Welcome to Investigator News, and I'm your host, Ellie, and this is the Weather and Lifestyle News Show. Welcome back, Karen, huh? Boy, I hope everyone's excited about today's show. It's been, boy, it seems like a week or more. We got frozen. Frozen. Is everybody frozen? Is the weather outside frightful? Uh, I know we're getting lows in the minus. We're getting lows in the teens. Uh, People are complaining, uh, and nobody knows how to drive on ice. Uh, so, um, so hello to Susan and William and Karen in our chat room, and I'm ready. I'm raring to go. William called me, said you got it. I said, oh I'm good. I'm good to go. So we'll give it a shot. Hang in there with me today. Uh, so we have Miss Davis, um, and she's basically going to say how cold in the South. Now I've got nephews that's moved here to the South, and it's interesting, and a few friends, and they said it's not supposed to be like this, and I'm like, yeah, yeah, I told you January. We get all the cold stuff. Isn't this the time when we worry if we're going to lose our oranges out of Florida? You know, frozen oranges. We always deal with that. We hear about them putting heaters on the orange trees. So, yeah, it gets cold in Florida. It gets cold in Texas, too. Um, uh, you know, cactuses can freeze and get snow around them. And, just put a Santa Claus hat on them. So, Uh, so, boy, I got a lot of really good stuff today. You know, they have hummingbirds that are drones now, and then now they got this saying that you could be Superman and this AI stuff. And then can you click with your tongue? Well, they got this thing you could stick in your mouth, and you could actually use it to uh, click on and share things with your tongue. Yeah, we don't even have to move our fingers anymore. To me, this sounds like a great idea for someone that's paraplegic. Um, but now it's for everybody. It's for everybody. I think it's making a generation of laziness. Yeah, get out there and run a mile. Get on the treadmill. Do some sit-ups. We all need to lose a few pounds after the holidays. The holidays is over. Now, what are we looking at? Well, Groundhog Day. Well, the groundhogs here, they give up with Arkansas. They left it to the squirrels. The squirrels said, "No, we don't want the job." They handed over to the possums. The possums basically sold it back to the gophers. Yeah, yeah, they pleaded and gave all the gophers pecans uh, to take the whole. Is it going to be winter or spring? So yeah, they're just suckers here. These little critters here are just suckers. All right, so we got Miss Davis. We got Miss Davis. Look at that. Uh, uh, Ice, snow, cold. Susan and Karen, do you guys get snowed in? We got a couple inches. Um, and we shut everything down. Schools, yeah, nothing was open. Doctor's offices closed. Uh, just it's about that deep. It wasn't even deep. But yeah, Arkansas, they just don't know how to act. 4 inches. That's about, we got a little less than that. Um, and prayers for Miss Susan's brother. Um, she definitely needs him so he can go home. Time for him to go home, huh? All right, so here we go.
The Arctic air continues to be the big story across the country, and there's a look at all the alerts in effect. That all has to do with the cold. So here is the Arctic air. It's made its way all the way down into the deep south. Temperatures running as much as 30 degrees below average, and dozens of record lows possible across the south into Wednesday morning. So there's a look at some of the temperatures. Memphis, man, if you had your weather woes the past week
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't end, 5 degrees. That's what you could be waking up to by Wednesday morning. Now, there's a look at the wind chills, and this is a big deal, very dangerous. The winds are whipping across a good portion of the country, so much of the country is facing a significant wind chill. We'll see the worst of it through parts of the Midwest, but certainly down to the south, the wind chills will be extreme in the single digits. Very cold air to come this week.
So it was so cold. It was so cold in Memphis that the tour people for Elvis's house went looking for his long johns. Yeah, they need something. Bill Street is ice. So if you're planning on going to Bill Street, be very careful. It's just a sheet of ice. Nashville's the same way. But no, they're saying Memphis. Memphis is going to call a state of emergency for the ice and the snow. And Elvis, yeah, he's blue. He's blue. Karen, is he blue? I think so. No pun intended, though. All right, so here we go. Um, an, another could be the problem in the Pacific uh, Northwest. I'm gonna blame it on William. Yet another system will work its way onshore early this week. Ice accumulation is possible. Heavy snow is likely in the Cascades and northern Rockies. I'm gonna blame it on William because when you look at it, it's all starting around
Heads
Washington.
up for icing
Yeah.
conditions.
When you take a look at there. Looky there. William, did you start that? No, it's just called winter. Winter. Everybody's getting all excited. We went like what 600 days with no of snow. Come on, it's time to snow. It's for the ski resorts not to have to make snow. So we got icy conditions, definitely. And it's going to spread. You
In the
give me
Pacific
snow again
Northwest,
next week.
travel along the interstates and, of course, along the surface streets could be a problem. Places like Portland, Eugene, anywhere along Interstate 5. And, of course, if you're trying to get through any of the passes headed toward the coast, you need to watch out. So here we go, looking at your Tuesday afternoon. Look at your temperatures dropping. 29 degrees there, just below freezing in Portland. South of that, temperatures could be a little bit cooler, and you're looking at Seattle right on the freezing mark there. So there's a chance for possible icing along the interstate again, and certainly on those surface streets. Now, as we get into Wednesday, things are going to be a lot better. Temperatures will be warming up, and it's going to be all rain. So short lived ice could still cause problems. Looking at most areas here, a quarter inch or so, that's when you have to watch out for power outages in some areas, tree limbs going down. Those heavier areas where it's in blue, that's where you have to watch out for widespread power outages and roads that could become impassable.
So, wow. So here we go with another one, and we're supposed to get snow again. So expect another round of snow at the beginning of next week for the middle of the states and over to the East Coast. Um, all right. Latest earthquakes. Oh boy. There's only 24 of them, but when I took a look, there's five and five and five and five and five and five and five, and I was like, wow. So you know what I did was I said, I need to take a look um, at the I call it my red globe and see what's going on. And so here we go, folks. Look at the Ring of Fire. Now, I don't bring this up very often, but when you look at the Ring of Fire, look at all the ones that hit um, Hawaii. I mean, there's like 10 of them that hit Hawaii with in between a 2.2, no, I'm sorry, 2.5 to a 3.2. Uh, then we got that down in Indonesia. Look at all the ones here. Um, then we go through the Ring of Fire, and we go up into Indonesia. We go up around Alaska. Uh, now, uh, see what got me to look at this was Dutch Sense was talking about a plague in Oklahoma. So I had to go take a look. And lo and behold, I've seen all the ones on the San Andreas fault line. It goes all the way down. It stops in Mexico, picks up in Central America and South America. Then we have it all the way down to, look at this, down to Antarctica. Now, we weren't told about these. Why didn't we hear about this 5.2 and a 4.8? And then we see the one just in the Atlantic, 5.8, 4.9, and then look at this. Um, Over here, the top of, I always say it's Land of the Giants, but they have a bunch of them too. And then way all the way up into the Arctics that we seen a 4.8. Then we had one. I mean, if you look at the top of this. Look at how crazy that is all the way around the Arctic. So, all right, I don't want to spend too much time on that. Let me get back to the other map, and so you guys can see the earthquakes that are definitely. Um, I'm trying to put this back up. Uh, the earthquakes, like I said, there's not very many of them, but there's a lot of fives. All right, there we are. So, to start off, we have a 5.0 in the Fiji region. Now, over here that I was talking about with Greece, I call the land of the giants, they had a 5.0. Then we go up to Bidin, Indonesia, 5.1. Now, they're still very active in Japan. And this was a 5.0 in Anamizu, Anamizu, Japan. Um, Now, what got me was the ones up here on the real close to San Andreas. That was a 3.4 in Interlake in California. Then we had another one, um, Barstow, California. Wow. All the years I spent in California, and they never, ever, ever heard of one in Barstow. This is so odd. Then, of course, we have ones in places that we hear about a lot, like White City, New Mexico. And over on the islands, we hear about it in Puerto Rico. Negro, Puerto Rico, 3.2. Um, I told you about Hawaii. Look how many we've seen in Hawaii. It lists one for 2.7 in Pala, Hawaii. Um, then we have some hitting South America. One on the tip, real close to Colombia, but it's in Panama. Uh, Padasi, Panama, 4.4. And we go down to um, um, at Atacama, Chile, a 4.1. And then we go down to another one in Chile in Longavi, 4.2. So, and on the islands, there's just one. And that was, like I said, in Puerto Rico, where we've been getting bunches of them. The same with Hawaii, the same with Japan. And then we get up into Alaska, very tip of Alaska, Teller, Alaska, 3.7. And all the ones we see up right around the Arctic and even Antarctica. So I think we're going to move into the sixes, to 5 to 6s, and maybe we'll have it this week and not over the weekend. Uh, so I'm going to move on. So um, the Iceland volcano that blew, it is producing lava. And the bad thing about this is it's now starting to flow into the towns and the cities that's in its path, and it's catching homes on fire. So I pulled this video, and prayers to the families here. As we have learned in Hawaii, the lava and even Vanuatu and some of these other uh, uh, e- e- eruptions, even when we see Mount St. Helens, when the lava flows, it chooses its path. We can't steer it, we can't move it. It just takes the path that it's flowing. And when it does run into houses, folks, it will burn houses. They do evacuate, but you seen it didn't really look like there was much to it. But it's very hot, and you don't know where it's going to roll to next, whether it's going to be your house or a house that's down the street. Um, very, boy, when I seen um, the video and these structures on fire, it just makes you wonder why people move so close to a volcano. Why would you do that? I don't know. Um, a revolutionary device lets you point, click with your tongue. What if you could control your computer or your smartphone with your tongue? You might think it's crazy. Is it crazy? But it's actually possible with a device called MouthPad. It lets you move your tongue like a finger on a touch screen and perform various actions on your device. It could really be a game changer for people with disabilities. So I want to show you one of the first few pictures it shows. And so there it is. Can you imagine having a mouthpiece you put in, and not your mouse, but you use your tongue to click away? Mm. I don't know. It's kind of like those mouth piercings. You're going to be out, roll, 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 roll. You'd have to take it out if you want to talk. So, what is a mouth pad? Is a Bluetooth trackpad that you can wear inside your mouth, like a mouth guard. It can sense the movements of your tongue and translate them into a cursor movement, clicks, and typing on your screen. So you can type with your tongue. Well, isn't this cool? What do you think, Karen? The device was developed by San Francisco startup called Augmental, which claims to create innovative solutions for human computer interactions. So here you go. Here's another piece of a picture of it. Well, it's not pretty, but click away with your tongue. It's not only a cool gadget, but it's also useful too for people who have difficulty using their hands and voice to control their devices. And so I was saying that someone in a chair or quadriplegic. What about that gentleman that was very smart, and the only thing he had to do was he had everything hooked up to where everything could talk for him? Wouldn't have this been cool for him? Or for others that can't don't have the arms or the legs or the arms to be able to use a computer. Now they're just going on voice commands. But can you imagine putting a little device in your mouth and clicking away? Ah, all right. A rash of wilderness fires hits Virginia and North Carolina and Tennessee. The wildfires in the eastern half of the country are aren't really typical this time of year, but neither is the drought. So I believe that they say the weather that's moving across, they get started and then the rain puts them out. So someone they say is deliberately setting these fires, and, the wildfires in the eastern half of this country aren't typical for this time of year, but the West Coast is. Someone really goofed when they agreed. Okay, so superhuman. Do you want to be a superhuman? This is a contraption that gives you superhuman strength, and it goes on your legs. Okay, so it goes on your legs. Boy, in between, you could get the thing for your tongue, you can get the thing for your legs now. And it makes you, they say, a superhuman. As long as you don't have problems with um, um, your legs or have any disabilities. This Y Combinator China has created in a hypershell they say Pro X, an all terrain exoskeleton that will take your outdoor adventures to the next level. Yeah, it fits on your legs and it boosts your strength, speed, and endurance. The Hypershell Pro X uses artificial intelligence to sense your movements and adjust your needs. It can switch 9 different motion postures, from walking to running to climbing, to provide 800 watts of power to help you lift your legs more easily. It can also offset up to 66 pounds of weight, so you can carry a heavy backpack without feeling the burden of the backpack. Whether you're facing high altitudes, steep slopes, or long distances, this Pro X will keep you going strong. How much does exoskeleton weigh? Just a few pounds. Okay, let me show you a picture of this. Okay, I'll show you it on the legs and then I'll show you what they look like. Right there, you attach them to your legs. What do you think, Karen? I don't know. I wish I would have had this for hiking like 30, 40 years ago, but no, it's coming out now. Right there. Oops. Right there. There it is. That's what it looks like. So, if you're interested, just kind of look it up. Pro X exoskeletons. Pro X. This would be great for hiking, running. I don't know if they would allow this in some of the marathons, though. It's artificial intelligence. It's on your legs, and it makes you a superhuman. Yeah, go out and be Superman. All right. On this day in history, um, January 16, 1919, Prohibition is ratified, banning booze in the United States. Boy, it didn't work. No, no, everybody started the stills and they started running them. They started running the liquor in the South. And what would they call them? Sleepeasies? Is that what it was called? The little room in the back of a lot of these places and clubs to where you could go get real alcohol. They'd have fun in the front and you could go get something in the back half. So the progressive effort to enforce top down social reform expanded the federal law enforcement and criminal activity back then. Prohibition 100 years later. Well, the 18th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, a progressive effort to enforce social reform. Uh, it was about manufacturing, sale, intoxicating liquors. Shame on them. Al Capone did it. There's so many history on even the stills out in the middle of nowhere where they'd fill it up with moonshine. They'd even put a color, brown color or tea into it. So it looked like tea in a jar, officer. Oh, yeah. So on this day, uh, 1919, Prohibition. All right. Last night, William mentioned um, the Miss America lady, the first active duty officer competes in Miss America. And, so I had to go look her up, see what she looked like. Yes, she is a beauty right there. Not only is she, they say, a bombshell, drop dead blonde, drop dead beautiful, but she is an officer. Respect her, men, but she is very beautiful. And since William mentioned it on the show, on his show last night, I wanted to show you guys what she looked like. She definitely is a beauty. Huh? I bet. Did you see her picture, William, before you did the story on her last night? I bet he did. But yeah, very beautiful, and she's Miss America. Um, a freezing bubble. We don't always get to watch the freezing bubble. Um, and it's very interesting to watch, and a lot of people will at least try it once in the midst of the cold air, arctic temperatures. Here we go. The frozen bubble. Huh. It's definitely interesting. um, um, Now, it's odd. But they had this Florida gentleman that with a brain tumor that plays the guitar during his surgery, and this is wild. Wow, it's wild. Let's see if I can pull it up. Oh, I think they took the video. It's not going to let me just show it. Well, wait a minute. No, it's not going to let me show it. Sorry about that. I thought it was. It's going to show me political stuff. Oh, so goodness. It said, well, maybe. But this guy plays guitar. No, it's still not. Fox News isn't going to let me show it. But what he does, see, during his brain surgery, he's out and he's playing electric guitar during the whole thing. Now, isn't that amazing? And they said it's a wonder for him. All right. So I want to move on to, let's see what I picked for the funny today. Uh, Small towns with the weirdest things. Like Scottsboro, Alabama, lost luggage capital of the world. Really? That's what it says. Let me get rid of some of these ads. Um, all right. What about Igloo City, Alaska? Abandoned igloo hotel. Anybody want to buy an igloo hotel? It might be up for sale. See, there's cactus. There you go. Santa Claus, Arizona. Santa's ghost town. It is a ghost town. What about Alma, Arkansas? Well, I don't know about this. Popeye spinach capital. St. Louis Obispo, California, Bubblegum Alley. Um, it's at 15 feet high and 70 feet long. This gummy mural is the largest collection of used bubblegum. People keep adding it. Can you imagine all the germs in that? I don't know. Okay, Picket Wire Canyon, Colorado, the largest dinosaur tracks. There you go. The dinosaurs were there. What about Dudleytown, Connecticut, the village of the damned? Well, let's not go there. Nobody go there for vacation. I bet the children of the corn are there. You know, dogs with axes that run, like my dog. I don't go there. Lewis, Delaware. Merman at Zawand. Oh boy, Zawanden Dale Museum. I don't know what that is. Uh, the museum in Lewes. It's an artifact that museum keepers known as a totally fictional. Still, that doesn't make any less of a valuable attraction. It's a museum that's not a museum and it's there, but it's not there. Ah, okay. Homo Sasa, Florida, Monkey Island. The spider monkeys and the squirrel monkeys. Yeah, they're the ones that's telling the groundhog here they're going to pay him in pecans to make sure he gives the right forecast. All right, what about Ashburn, Georgia? The world's largest peanut. The world's largest, there you go. If you haven't seen it, go take a look. All right, Wahia, Hawaii, Pineapple Garden Maze. There you go. Go through the maze and eat some pineapple while you're at it and get lost. See, I'd be afraid I'd be there for days. Okay, what about this one? Cottonwood, Idaho. Dog Bark Park Inn. This is a bed and breakfast. It's shaped like a beagle. So if you love dogs and love your beagles, go ahead and try it at the Cottonwoods Dog Bark Park Inn. Don't miss it. Yeah, there you are. Linda, I believe Linda's the one that's got the beagle. There you go. You and the puppy go stay at the Beagle Inn. Uh, Collinsville, I'm sorry, Illinois, world's largest ketchup bottle. There you go. Bring your own French fries. There you go. Um, let's skip some of these. Riverside, Iowa, birthplace of Captain Kirk. Yeah, and they even got a bench so you can look. You could sit there and go where no man has gone before. Live long and prosper. Okay, what about Copper City, Kansas? The world's largest ball of twine. Yeah, keep adding to it. Take your own twine, add to it. Um, here you go, Williamstown, Kentucky. Noah's Ark's there. There you go, William, a town that's named after you. Williamstown. There you go. Kentwood, Louisiana. Who cares? Britney Spears exhibit. No, we don't want to go see Britney Spears. No, we're too old for that. Now, how about Clint Eastwood and Carmel? They should have a big museum there for him. You know that he used to walk up and down the streets of Carmel. And so if you went there, more than likely you'd run into him. It was awesome. It was awesome. All right, Bangor, Maine, Stephen King house. All right, so with that, folks, we are done and we're going to move into the news in about 30 minutes. So come on back. Subscribe and hit the like button, share with family and friends. news that we don't hear on the evening news, the morning news. This is news that we don't normally hear about. Even some of the weather. Uh, I was I was surprised the weather that I showed you today wasn't shown on the Weather Channel. All right, so with that, come on back in 30 minutes for the news. If not, come on back tomorrow for weather and lifestyle news. Uh, have a wonderful Tuesday, and we'll see you tomorrow. And God bless.